Let me ask you something you've probably felt but never said out loud. Why does a $60,000 salary feel like poverty? You did everything right. You got the degree. You found the job. You show up on time. You contribute to the 401k at least enough to get the match. And yet by the 25th of every month, you're mentally calculating whether you can afford takeout. Meanwhile, your neighbor same age, same city, possibly same industry just took delivery of a brand new Tesla Model Y. White interior, acceleration boost, and you're happy for them. But you also feel something else. A quiet, creeping sense of failure. Not jealousy, something worse. Confusion, because if you're both earning roughly the same, how are they living an entirely different financial life? Let's walk through it calmly. No hype. No get-rich-quick talk, just the math and the psychology. Because the answer is not that you're bad with money. The answer is more interesting and more uncomfortable than that. Build a realistic person. Call him Alex, lives in a mid-sized city, say Austin, Denver, or Charlotte. Or maybe a European equivalent Lyon, Manchester, or Hamburg. The specifics change a little, but the pattern is the same. Alex earns $60,000 a year. That's about $5,000 a month after federal income tax, Social Security, Medicare, and state tax in a moderate state. Take home is roughly $4,000 per month. In Europe, after progressive tax and social contributions, the net might be €3,200 to €3,500. Same ballpark. Now rent a decent one-bedroom apartment in a safe neighborhood. Not luxury, not a basement, $1,500 a month. In many European cities, €1,300 for something similar. Then utilities, internet, phone $250, groceries $400, health insurance or supplemental premiums $200, already $2,350 gone. Alex now has $1,650 left for the month, then student loan payment $300. Now we're at $1,350, then a car payment, not a luxury car. A sensible 3-year-old Honda or Toyota, $350 a month, plus insurance and gas another $200. Alex now has $800 left for the month. That $800 has to cover clothes, occasional eating out, a streaming subscription, maybe a gym membership, and if possible savings. There is nothing reckless about this budget. No private jets, no Michelin inners. Just the baseline cost of being a functioning adult in a modern economy. So where does the Tesla neighbor fit? With the Tesla probably earns more than Alex. Let's be honest, but not dramatically more. Maybe $75,000 or $80,000. That's not wealth. That's still firmly middle class. So how do they afford a $50,000 car? 3 ways. And none of them are secret. First, they took a longer loan. 72 months or even 84 months instead of 48 or 60. Monthly payment drops from $900 to $550. Feels affordable, but you pay thousands more in interest. Second, they have lower fixed costs. Maybe no student loans, maybe a cheaper apartment. Maybe they live with a partner who splits rent. That alone frees up $700 to $1,000 a month. Third, and this is the one people don't talk about, they have no emergency fund. They're not saving for retirement beyond the absolute minimum. Every dollar that comes in goes out. To the car, to the lease, to the image. Let me repeat that. Choosing a modest car over a status car, one time in your late 20s, can be worth $250,000 by retirement. And that's just one decision. Now multiply that by the leased German sedan, the financed furniture, the vacation on a credit card, the new iPhone every year, the premium apartment with the rooftop pool you never use. The neighbor in the Tesla isn't wealthy. They are high spending, and those two things are not the same. So why does Alex feel poor? Because our brains evolved for a tribe of 150 people on the savannah. Not for Instagram feeds and driveway comparisons. We don't see our neighbor's student loan balance. We don't see their credit card debt. We don't see the anxiety they feel when an unexpected $1,000 expense appears. We see the car, the kitchen remodel, the vacation photos. This is called visible spending versus invisible wealth. Visible spending buys things other people can see. Invisible wealth buys freedom, savings, investments, paid off debt, the ability to say no to a job you hate. The neighbor with the Tesla has mastered visible spending. But invisible wealth? Likely very little. And here's the quiet tragedy, Alex. The sensible one, with the used Honda and the student loan payment, feels inadequate. Not because he made bad choices, but because he's comparing his invisible progress to someone else's visible consumption. That is not a math problem. That is a psychology problem. Alex continues this way: modest car, reasonable rent, no credit card debt, consistent saving. Here's what happens by age 50. By investing just 10% of his income into low-cost index funds and avoiding lifestyle inflation each time he gets a raise, Alex builds a portfolio worth roughly $800,000 to $1 million in real terms. He still drives a sensible car. He still lives in a normal apartment, but he has options. He can take a lower-paying, more meaningful job. He can retire early. He can survive a layoff without panic. By 50, the neighbor is still working, still stressed, still financing the next status symbol, still wondering why they feel trapped on a good salary. The neighbor with the Tesla. They traded that future for monthly payments, for the dopamine hit of a new car smell, for the approval of people who aren't paying their bill. That's the real cost of the Tesla. Not the $71,000, the 30 years of lost freedom. Financially intelligent people are not monks. They are not anti-car or anti-fun. They simply understand one thing: wealth is what you don't see. When they see a neighbor with a luxury car, they don't feel envy, they feel neutrality. They know that car is not evidence of wealth. It is evidence of a decision, one they chose not to make. They also don't wait for motivation. They build systems, automatic transfers to a brokerage account, a rule no financing anything that depreciates, a habit waiting 30 days before any non-essential purchase over $200. These are not sacrifices, they are choices. And every choice has a trade-off. The trade-off for the sensible car is freedom 30 years from now. The trade-off for the Tesla is being impressive for 3 months and then just normal again with a pain. So if you earn $60,000 and feel poor, here is the calm truth. You're not failing. You are competing in a game where most of the visible winners are actually losing. You just can't see their balance sheets. The goal is not to drive the cheapest car or eat beans from a can. The goal is to stop measuring your life by other people's spending, because their spending is often debt disguised as success. You now know something: the Tesla neighbor doesn't. Visible consumption and actual wealth rarely live in the same house. That's not a motivational speech. That's just math and psychology and a little patience. If this kind of calm, realistic breakdown helps you think more clearly about money, consider subscribing. No hype, no fake promises, just the truth, delivered quietly. Thanks for listening.